Now, something the news is not covering is that the most liberal cities in America are booting their light on crime Soros DAs. For instance, like what happened in San Francisco.
Tonight, new fallout after a stunning defeat. Voters in one of the most progressive cities in America removing their progressive district attorney from his job.
People are right to be frustrated. There's so much room for improvement.
Chesa Boudin was elected touting alternatives to prison and recalled in a landslide, facing criticism for being soft on crime.
That's not all. The extremely liberal city of Oakland is also recalling their woke DA.
County voters will soon decide whether controversial district attorney Pamela Price will stay on the job or be recalled.
The signatures have officially been certified.
We, the voters, have the right to hire you, but we are also the people who can fire you.
Now, the king of the Soros DAs has just been given the boot by the voters.
This is a Coin 6 News breaking news alert.
It appears a new face will lead prosecution of criminals in Multnomah County starting next year as current District Attorney Mike Schmidt concedes the race.
So let's talk about when voters eventually wake up. So I want to start with this particular chart. It shows 3 cities: Seattle, Washington, San Francisco, and Portland, Oregon. Now, I want you to focus on the end of the chart between 2020 and 2023 when this new DA, Mike Schmidt, got in office. And you'll see how their homicides exploded. Now, you may be thinking, well, what could have happened in 2020 to facilitate such a rise in homicides? Well, first, you elect a light-on-crime DA.
Stay on the job for the new district attorney in Multnomah County. Mike Schmidt is a former prosecutor in that office and a graduate of Lewis and Clark Law School. Today, our Lisa Balick talked with him one-on-one to find out how he'll handle everything from protester cases to those involving the homeless.
He's a supporter of restorative justice.
I'm going to be very open as district attorney to thinking about what cases we could go and use a restorative process, sometimes in lieu of the criminal justice system process, or sometimes simultaneously or even after the fact. But really, the focus is going to be how do we get the victims of a crime what they need to heal.
Mike Schmidt supports diversion and treatment in some cases, where conduct is because someone is homeless rather than jail time.
Now, along with hiring a light-on-crime DA, they also decided to decriminalize hard drugs in Oregon.
This is Portland, Oregon, 2 years after decriminalizing personal amounts of hard drugs. The open drug use, the deaths, worse than ever.
Where are we here now?
This is Skidmore Fountain, which has been called Fentanyl Fountain by some of the folks that we've interacted with.
Police officer David Bayer patrols downtown. Measure 110, the ballot initiative that brought in decriminalization, changed his job.
See this guy right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, watch this.
What's he doing?
He's probably smoking fentanyl. See that?
Yeah.
And we're like, we're in what's basically a police car. It's unmarked, but like, we're pretty obviously the police. Hi there, put that knife away, please. What are you smoking?
Betty.
Okay, just powder fentanyl?
Yeah.
Is that what you drop right there?
Yeah.
Right there? Yeah. Can you pick that up so someone else doesn't find it or a kid doesn't find that, please?
Under Measure 110, Bayer writes a $100 ticket. The fine will be waived if this man phones a treatment hotline.
Hey, man. No, number to call in the back for treatment. Right on. Good luck to you.
Do you think he'll call?
Most likely, yeah. About a 50-50 shot, yeah.
A recent audit found just 1% of people receiving tickets have actually called the hotline.
Now, before we get into the rest of the video, I want to tell you about this new partnership I have with D. Miller and Associates, PLLC. Now, over the years that I've had this channel, the number one question I generally get from fans is, can I help them with their legal issue? Now, because my fan base is nationwide, I needed a law firm to partner with who can help people on a nationwide basis. This is where D. Miller and Associates come in. They've handled over 52,000 cases and recovered over $500 million. As an example, when it comes to something like personal care product, where unexpected risks can emerge, especially with hair relaxers that contain harmful chemicals that have been linked to cause cancer, or for first responders who use aqueous film-forming foam. That's the foam that first responders and firefighters use to put out chemical fires. Well, that foam has been linked to cause serious health issues like cancer. Now, we specialize in handling these types of cases and are committed to securing the compensation you deserve. Now, you can give us a call at 83-DIAL-NATE, that's 83-DIAL-NATE, or visit the website link in the description and pinned comment. Now, remember, the consultation is 100% free, and you won't pay unless we win your case. Now, visit the link in the description or pinned comment. Operators are standing by to assist you in the process. Now, back to the video. So, light on crime policies, drugs being legal, this became a criminal paradise. Even Nike had to close down its stores because it became so bad.
Yeah, in a statement, Nike suggested it's committed to the community in North and Northeast Portland and is considering future locations, but in the meantime, it will permanently close the Nike store on Northeast MLK Boulevard. Several community leaders tell me they are deeply disappointed. The Nike community store has really been a fixture in Northeast Portland since 1984. It was Nike's first ever factory store. The sneaker giant pledged to donate a portion of the store's profits to community-based nonprofits, and it did. Over the years, Nike has donated millions to the surrounding community. But ongoing issues with theft created serious problems at the Nike community store. As we documented last year, thieves often ripped off armloads of Nike shoes and clothing with no fear of being arrested. We saw it firsthand. Security guards contracted by Nike admit they're forbidden from physically stopping shoplifters.
Now, the situation in Oregon became so bad it became a huge national story. Here is former President Trump explaining the problems in Oregon.
They want to hire far-left prosecutors and judges and let the criminals run wild. The radical left district attorney in Portland, Mike Schmidt, his name is, has released hundreds of rioters and announced that anyone arrested for interfering with police officers, disorderly conduct, criminal trespass, rioting, and other offenses will not be prosecuted under any circumstance.
So now Oregon, especially Portland, became a madhouse, and people weren't safe in their own city. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand you wanting to think outside the box, but this was essentially blowing the box up. Now, it was so bad, homicides hit a record high in 2022. The city had to declare a state of emergency because of the explosion in fentanyl death. Cops were resigning en masse, and Schmidt was saying that things were getting better, but they weren't.
The governor of Oregon has declared an emergency for the city of Portland just a few years after it became the first state in the nation to largely decriminalize drug use. Very interesting story here. There had been hope that a more humane approach could help curb addiction overall, but it hasn't worked out that way, at least so far. Adam Yamaguchi of CBS Reports shows us that many people are running out of patience.
The state, the county, and city declare a fentanyl state of emergency.
Elected with 76% of the vote in 2020, Schmidt came into the office during the pandemic and in the wake of the social justice demonstrations. As the situation on Portland streets deteriorated, Schmidt got much of the blame, and his progressive approach to criminal justice allowed his critics, including Vasquez, to paint him as the face of a broken criminal justice system.
So now, with all that going on, the voters said enough's enough. We got to get this lunatic out of here and get some sanity back to the state. So Schmidt got booted for a new DA.
Now to your vote and some big developments in the most closely watched race of the May primary.
In the last hour, incumbent Mike Schmidt conceded the Multnomah County District Attorney's race to Nathan Vasquez. Fox 12 political analyst John Horvick was the first person to call the race for Vasquez last night in our extensive election coverage on the 9 o'clock news.
Our political expert, John Horvick, and let's just make it official. John, the race for Multnomah County DA is over.
Yeah, I believe I'm going to call it. Nathan Vasquez is going to be the next district attorney in Multnomah County. He's going to break the 50% threshold. There's only two candidates. There's a 16-point lead for Vasquez right now, but I've had a chance to look at the precinct results, and there's just nowhere in the county where Mike Schmidt's doing well. His best precincts, he's hovering right around 50%. Vasquez is many precincts. He's 60, 70% of the vote. I feel real confident, given the margin of lead and the breadth of across the community, that Vasquez is going to be the winner.
You know, I'm about to say something I thought was obvious, but if people break the law, they should be held accountable, right? Isn't that a simple concept? It's the foundation of our American society. We are a country that is bound by the rule of law, and you have to follow them, and you have to be held accountable if you don't. And the numbers don't lie. Look at the chart. They were at 20 homicides a year, and then they 5x'd it to over 100. The policies weren't working. They were a disaster. Now, I always ask you to tell me where I'm wrong in the comment section. If you support these woke DAs and these woke policies and think, hey, Nate, you're just totally off base, tell me in the comment section, because I want to hear a good argument. Because these woke DAs are going down like dominoes. The people who voted them in these liberal cities have woken up and said, this doesn't work. And like I always say, liberal policies sometimes need conservative solutions. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.